What you looking at me like that for? What, man? Come on, you just drove down here? Yeah.
Unbelievable movie. Incredibly emotional, incredibly raw and revealing. I'm just wondering if you could talk about what brought you each to the project and what the project did to you on working on it.
Just the script being so incredibly phenomenal. That was something that I was blown away by and I knew that I had to be a part of. And it really kind of just awoken something in me that allowed me to really see myself and see the world differently.
Yeah, it was a beautiful story, beautiful script, amazing director. And I think what I'm taking away from it is that question that I'm constantly asking myself of, am I being myself? Am I being the best version of myself? Am I being authentic with myself?
Well, I mean, it's when we talk about versions of yourself, this film literally is versions of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you could talk about the experience, obviously when you read it on the page, but when you see these other extraordinary performers who are sort of leading up to your culmination, if you could just talk about if you see yourselves in what they actually gave. Barry suggested that you guys weren't even connected before. If you could just sort of expand upon that.
Yeah, I see a lot of myself in Kevin. In the beginning when he's in the first part, even though he's got this kind of rambunctious energy, he's also compassionate and caring, and he sees that this kid is, a bit isolated, and he reaches out to him. And then you see him in the middle overperforming this idea of masculinity, which is something that I went through as well. And then in the third chapter, he's a guy who has come to not the place, but to a place where he's at least in conversation with himself in an honest way. And I feel like I'm arriving at that place in my own personal life as well. So it really does sort of arc out the trajectory of my own life.
Did you see yourself as a little skinny kid?
Absolutely. I was a little skinny kid,
Stop lying.
I promise you, in middle school, man, I was the tall, I've been the same height since I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
the tall, gangly little guy, man, getting picked on because my middle finger was, a foot long. So, yeah, absolutely. And even in the little guy, there were times when I was just the most shy individual, and yeah, it was surreal to see.
Just to go back over to Barry suggested that you guys did not meet with the people who are playing your younger selves.
At all. He was very adamant about it as well, because we did try to see.
Surreptitiously?
Yeah. But,
hey man, what up,
yeah,
Facebook?
what's up?
Exactly.
He
I snuck into the wardrobe trailer.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's not creepy.
I know. Slightly.
I'm just looking with a young kid.
I was like, I hear there's a book with pictures of kids. Can I see that? Okay, great.
And in terms of, if you could just talk about your first reaction when you finally saw the completed film and just what it meant to see it all come together, because you had been missing so many pieces. It's abnormal for you guys to sort of be the culmination of this kind of work.
Yeah. The first time I saw it, I went home and I was like, to be honest, my heart was a little bit, not broken, but I was shaken up by it. I couldn't quite process what I had seen.
It resonates with you so
it resonates, yeah. And also, it's an odd thing because I went home and I thought, I want to do it all over again. Now that I've seen it all, I want to do it again. Now, because I think I realized just how amazing it was. And I started to see things like, oh man, I wish I had known that little piece, because then I would have done something differently. But then when you see it the second and third time, you go, oh, you know what? Barry knew what he was doing. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. The kind of script you guys get, I mean, obviously there's a very sort of prototypical urban story that gets told over and over again. Then you have something like this, which just seems so extraordinary and so exceptional, so nuanced, in some ways, so perfect. Just wondering if you could talk about the challenges of just finding roles like this, about just finding things to do, and when you do find it, that sense of, oh my God, this is the one I want to do.
It's the best feeling in life. It was a sensation that I had never felt before, and seeing that. And so I'm slowly learning that it is something that is an anomaly. It's not common. But yeah, definitely, that's something that you're always seeking out as an actor, to find that truth and to really have the opportunity to be a part of it.
Yeah. Same. They're few and far between, but when they come, they're magical.
Yeah. And last question, what did you learn about yourself by watching these other performances? What did you learn about your own childhood by watching yourself grow up and what you ended up with as the final character?
It just kind of really helped me conceptualize why I am the person that I am and why I've done the things that I've done and why I do the things that I do now, because of things that have happened to me when I was younger. It could have been just the day a kid threw a stick at the back of my head and I got a scar, you know, I don't like people behind me now because of that. It's just certain, you know, certain things that are just like ingrained in you from your youth, and you don't really acknowledge that that's because of that. You know, and this movie kind of depicts that whole thing, and it's just right there for you to see.
Yeah. Same. I was picked on, bullied quite a lot as a kid, and I identify with Sharon's story. And I think that you come to that place eventually where you go, you know what? I'm not that kid anymore. I don't have to be reactive. I don't have to fight the world or wrestle with the world. It's okay. And I really identify with that.
You gotta wrap, but has your bully come up to you and asked for an autograph yet?
Not yet, but if he does, I got something for him.
He boxes. You don't want it, man. You don't want it.